What does this mean? An immune trainer.
So immune trainer is basically, it's working with these innate immune cells, the macrophage, neutrophils, and natural killer cells. And it's basically training them. And if you look at these cells, they all have a bookmark or a recipe of how they function, how they defend themselves against a different pathogenic challenge. So we're basically training these cells to react much quicker and have more energy to kill more pathogenic challenges in a much more effective and efficient way. This is something that's new in the market. It's probably the first ingredient that has ever been proven, as far as clinically studied, to prove to prove that it has trained immunity. And that's what really this beta-glucan does. Is it's this trained immunity. It triggers these cells to be ready. So when that pathogenic challenge is exposed, it jumps into action.
Welcome to the Healthy Habit Podcast, episode number 179. And I'm your host, Dr. Dayan of Healthy Habit Medical Center here inside of Healthy Habit Health Foods. And the store's been here 20 plus years, folks. Clinic. We just had our 5.5-year anniversary at the clinic. So it's your one-stop shop here to get healthy, folks. And that's why we're bringing you here this podcast to have our guests to inform us on what's going on in the health world and what we can do here to stay healthy to start 2025. It's probably March by the time you're listening to this of the new year. This is when people are trying to get healthy. In that first 3 quarters of the year, gym memberships going up. People put health on their radar, Matt. So I'm going to give you a little introduction here, and then we're going to dive right into our show and go from there. Matt Steiner has worked in the natural products industry as a sales and marketing executive for over 30 years. By the way, him and Stan, the demo man, go way back, and Stan's the one that set us up here to get going on the podcast. So thank you, Stan, the demo man, for that. He has been a guest on numerous radio and talk shows. He's given lectures to a variety of audiences within the trade industry. Matt obtained a Bachelor of Science degree from the Carlson Business School of Management from the University of Minnesota, where he currently resides. He's Vice President, Consumer Division for Immune Health Basics, a company dedicated to improving immune health. And again, that's Immune Health Basics, the company that we'll be highlighting here today. Matt, welcome back.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be back, and congratulations on your 5-year anniversary. That's exciting news.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great.
It's been a great journey, and we appreciate all our patients and customers here at Healthy Habit. So, like I said, Immune Health Basics is the company we'll be highlighting here today, and one of their featured products is going to be the Wellmune. Well, actually, it's the ingredient inside of the Immune Health Basics of Immune Health Essentials. So tell us about Wellmune, this key ingredient.
Sure. Wellmune is a beta-glucan product. It's a proprietary strain of a highly purified beta-glucan product that has done, and again, I worked for a biotech company a number of years ago, and we were the ones who really discovered the mechanism of how this product works, did a lot of the research on clinical studies on it, and it is, I think, one of the best immune products on the market. But it basically has some unique characteristics. It's all natural. It basically strengthens, the beta-glucan triggers a certain reaction in your immune system, both with your innate part of your adaptive part of your immune system, and it really strengthens these cells and get them much more active to kill different pathogenic challenges.
Got it. Yeah, so that's a specific form, and people can read. Is that a specific registered trademarked ingredient that actually has the research that people can go and search through?
Sure, they can. They can just they can go to our website and look all the information up, or they can go to a website called wellmune.com, and that's another website, or else immunehealthbasics.com, and we'll have the research on there as well.
Perfect.
But it is a very specific strain of beta-glucan, and again, and I talked about this before. Not all beta-glucans are created equal. There's different types of glucans, there's different purity methods, and we had it actually published a number of years ago in the Nature journal. And again, specific strains of beta-glucan dramatically affect how this product works, purity methods, how it's manufactured. So it has a lot to do with it. And again, slight differences in how you make this product and your original strain has a lot to deal with if the product's going to work or not. work or not. And I always
Right.
tell people, look at the research done on the ingredient in the bottle, because again, there's many different strains out there. And if you don't have the right ingredient or the right research, a lot of companies will go out and buy a beta-glucan, and this one is derived from yeast. And basically, it's an unpurified product. It has a lot of manoproteins on it, and it's really not going to have any benefit at all, because the beta-glucan is part of the intercellular structure. And if you don't purify it and have the right strain, you're just wasting your money.
Got it. I did a screen share here from
Yep.
immunehealthbasics.com, and you can see their 4 lineup right here. They all say Immune Health Basics on it. They're different dosages, but you can see tucked away here in the top right, you'll see that Wellmune on all 4 of these bottles. Wellmune, they even have the wellmune.com, so you can dive deep into all the science and research on this specific functional ingredient, as they call it here, for food, beverage, and supplement products. And clinical research demonstrates Wellmune's ability to support immune health across multiple ages. And this is the only company I know, to my knowledge, that specifically is focused on this Wellmune to give the immune support. So you can go check those links out after, and then on wellmune.com, you can see up here in the tab on the right, science and research, where you can just dive deep into this specific ingredient for all the research buffs out there who will always love to go deeper and get resources. And you can see for children, athletes, weekend warriors, older adults, individuals experiencing stress, there's multiple use cases for Wellmune. So you be sure to check that out, and I'll link that below in the description box under the video. So thanks for highlighting that, Matt. And so why should someone take Immune Health Basics? Why is it
Sure.
important
If you look at it,
Yeah, tell us.
yep. Well, if you look at it, your immune system. I mean, your immune system is made up of organs and tissues and cells. And you got, an average person is going to have, roughly anywhere from 35 to say 40 trillion cells out there. And it's made to one specific purpose, is to keep you healthy, because you're always exposed to different pathogenic challenges. And, some of the challenges are, whether you smoke or drink, or lack of sleep, or nutrition, poor nutrition, or, a big one is stress. I mean, everybody has stress in your life. So your immune system, no matter how old you are, and as we get older too, our immune system doesn't function as well. So as you get older, or your immune system's under stress, it's real important to strengthen your immune system. And you do it, and you want to do it in a safe and natural way. And that's what really Immune Health Basics provides. It provides a natural way to strengthen your immune system. And it's a great product.
Yeah, especially, through the holiday season and even into the winter months, like all from October through March, you really want to be having this on your radar for immune system protection. And instead of just the typical, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, those are great, selenium, but it's nice to have a clinically patented ingredient that most people don't even have on their radars, like the Immune Health Basics. So thank you for explaining that, my friend. Tell us then, what are beta-glucans? Explain the different types. People think they know they're found in mushrooms.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Yeast.
So there are different types of glucans. There's really 4 different types. I mean, you have cereals out there. You have, cereals which are typically a 1-3-1-4, oats and barley and so forth. And again, it's a different molecular structure, and they've done a lot of clinical studies on it. I mean, if you look at General Mills and so forth with Quaker Oats and those types of things, it helps lower your cholesterol, but it will have nothing to do with your immune system. And the other really 2 other types are your mushroom products and then your yeast products. And mushroom products have this 1-3-1 or this 1-3-1-6 molecular structure, but it just contains a lot less of it. So our product, if you look at the molecular structure of it, the beta-glucan is this 1-3-1-6. We've got about 80% of that molecular structure in our product, where mushroom products only contain about 5 to 10%. And with mushroom products, it's different too. I mean, I just was reading a research study the other day on oyster mushrooms, where it helps with upper respiratory symptoms. Then they did the same study with another type of mushroom, shaki, and it had no benefit whatsoever. So you get different benefits with mushrooms and so forth, but it's not consistent. Where our product is very consistent. It's a proprietary strain. And again, as I mentioned, slight differences in molecular structure, in strain, in manufacturing processes, and impurity will have a dramatic effect of how this product will work on it.
Great breakdown there, my friend. So again, beta-glucans, they're a polysaccharide technically found in the cell walls of plants, bacteria, fungi. And most people, they'll take them for immune system, but also there's studies on cancer and anti-tumor research, right?
Yep.
Cholesterol, even blood sugar management are some use
Sure.
cases for beta-glucans. Oftentimes they're thrown in foods like thickeners, stabilizers, fat substitutes. But yeah, they're found typically in those cereal grains, mushrooms, baker's yeast, algae. Am I missing anything here?
No, that's kind of it. But again, like I said, not all of them will have immune benefits to them and so forth. So, you've got to
Right,
look at
okay.
the research and what it's used for.
Got it. Perfect. So again, folks, episode 179, we're breaking down beta-glucans, immune health basics, Wellmune, all these things that we need for our immune system. And then how does somebody know they're a candidate for this if they're just trying to get their immune system built up? Can you take it preventatively?
You can take it preventively. We've done studies both prophylactically and preventive, and it has great benefit because what this basic product does is it really strengthens key immune cells, your macrophage, neutrophils, and natural killer cells, which are part of your innate immune system. And we take one of the largest armies out there, and the neutrophil is one of the main mechanisms. And a neutrophil accounts for anywhere from 50 to 70% of your white blood cells. You have, as I mentioned, you know, you got about 30 or you got about 35, 40 trillion cells in your system. And we have done fluorescent dye studies that measures the appetite of these cells and the movement of these cells. And we have actually increased by about 50%. So we're taking about 11 to 15 trillion cells and making them much more effective to go out and kill that pathogenic challenge.
Got it. Perfect. So, yeah, like you said, you could take it preventatively. That's people want to know that it's
Yep.
not just for active cases of illness, like an acute case. And then tell us about the new research on trained immunity. I want to. This
Sure.
is
Train
important.
immunity. This is something that's new in the market. It's probably the first ingredient that has ever been proven, as far as clinically studied, to prove or to prove that it has trained immunity. And what I mean about that is, first of all, if you look at your immune system, you have two sides of your immune system. You have your innate part of your immune system and acquired part. And your innate part of your immune system are typically macrophage, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and they are typically the first cell at a response at any type of health challenge or threat. And they're the first cells to that pathogenic challenge. And they basically come in numbers and they say, are you self or non-self? Do you belong here or not? And it's going to mount an immune challenge to it. Then it's also going to send chemical messengers to that adaptive part of your immune system to say, hey, I have this potential threat here. I need to bring in the rest of the army here. And that's your adaptive part of the immune system. So if you look at your adaptive part of the immune system, it's really a part of your immune system that is triggered through repetition of being exposed to that pathogenic challenge. For example, if you get some type of threat, or if you get a flu shot, you get a dead or a non-active form of that flu shot, and your system will be exposed to it, and then it will remember that type of threat. And then when it comes in contact with in the future, basically it'll mount immune response to it. So it's much more prepared for it. So but that is only for that specific threat. But if the threat changes over time, again, your immune system has to learn that threat. So what's new about this trained immunity, and it's really exciting, is that we have actually shown that this ingredient, Wellmune, actually trains these innate immune cells. It just basically triggers it to get more energy. So it's better prepared to fight these challenges when the challenge is exposed. And an example of that is basically think of it as an analogy of say a runner, say an athlete. An athlete will train, for days, months, and years to run a certain event. And when it finally comes to that event, it's going to run and it's going to, perform at its peak performance, that athlete. But it keeps that, or it maintains that strength to run that race anytime. And that's what really this beta-glucan does, is it's this trained immunity. It triggers these cells to be ready. So when that pathogenic challenge is exposed, it jumps into action. And we've done different studies that show that, and it increases the effectiveness and the efficiency of these cells by anywhere from 2 to 5 times. And we've done different types of studies because what happens with this is the Wellmune will communicate with these cells and it'll trigger certain reactions like cytokine releases. It'll increase interleukins, interferons, and so forth. So it increases these little proteins that are little chemical messengers, and it gets these cells in just a ready position. And when it's in a ready position, it just, it performs more effectively and efficient.
Wow.
So kill these pathogenic challenges in a quicker period versus because a lot of times you can come down with challenges because your immune system isn't quick enough to respond or it just doesn't have the immune army to respond to it. So actually, and again, all of our clinical studies, show that. And we've looked at many different clinical studies as far as respiratory symptoms. We've decreased it anywhere from 20 to 70%. We've looked at physical stress, psychological stress, those types of things. So your response time is going to be much quicker, which equates to a better immune response in healthier people.
So would that be like the front lines, the first responders?
Exactly. I mean, your innate part of your immune system is your first responders. And if you can get these cells more active to kill different pathogenic challenges, then that response is going to work much more effective to keeping that threat at bay. Versus, again, if you're adaptive type or adaptive part of your immune system, it takes days for it to learn that response. And by then you've already can come down with that challenge and you've already come down with a common cold or so forth. Or if you look at innate immunity, it's your first response and you're getting these, group of cells, your macrophage, neutrophils, natural killer cells, you're increasing your cytokines, dendritic cells and so forth to react to this challenge much more effective. And the research supports it as well. There's a lot of research that we've looked at as far as the chemical reaction within the nucleus of these cells, as well as look at the research on it as far as decreased upper respiratory type symptoms.
Thank you, Matt. That's incredibly valuable. You want to have a quick response time, as you said, right? Because then the rest of the immune system can get to work also quicker and get you healed up properly. So we even have the Immune Health Basics Kids Soft Chews. There's 30 soft chews per box here with the beta-glucans. There's vitamins A, D3, E, and K2 there. This is from immunehealthbasics.com. Just hit shop now and then shop immune products. But then we have the classics here that we have at Healthy Habit. The Immune Health Basics 250 milligrams, the 125. We even have another 250 as a 30 capsule. And then there's the 500 milligrams. So how does somebody know where to start there, Matt? What's the most common here?
Sure. If you look at, all of our research, what we recommend for a dose is 1 milligram per pound of body weight. So, the 250 milligram dose is perfect. And that's what we did most of the studies on. Okay. The 250 milligram dose is great for, most adults and so forth. But if you feel, something's coming on, you can take the 500 milligram and get a little bit better response than the 250. The 250 is a good recommended dosage. And again, with the kids product, anywhere from 25 to could be 50 milligrams, depending on their age and weight. So 1 milligram per pound, the 250 is great for adults. Then we also have the, children's version and a 125 as well. But with this product as well, you can't overdose on it because basically it's picked up in your intestinal tract. And if you do suddenly take too much, it's just, expensive. It's fiber that just goes throughout your, stomach and throughout your intestines and so forth. So and that's other point. You talk about the safety aspect of it. You can't really overstimulate on this immune or this Wellmune. If you look at it, it basically gets your immune system more effective. But if the pathogenic challenge isn't there, then it goes back to the kind of like the resting state. So that's kind of how it works.
Got it. Yeah, great breakdown. That's very accurate. Folks, you might want to listen to this twice because that's important. You want to take notes on that and write down the per body weight so you can match up the dose appropriately or just work with your physician. Hey, have your physician even watch this episode, right, Matt?
Yeah, they could. What's nice about this is it's been clinically proven. I mean, there's a lot of research on it, on how this product works. And, and we've done clinical human research on upper respiratory symptoms, as I mentioned, stressed individuals, and those types of things.
Yeah. And so then how does autoimmune disease play a role in all this? Is this safe? Obviously, we're not giving medical advice, but someone that's dealing with autoimmune, Hashimoto's thyroiditis or lupus or autoimmune diseases, what's going on there? How do these products fit in here?
Well, we always tell people with autoimmune to, check with their physician and so forth. But over the years, we've always heard that our product has certain benefits with autoimmune. So we did a ragweed study a number of years ago. And ragweed, what happens with a lot of autoimmune diseases is your immune system overstimulates. Certain cells skyrocket in numbers and cause your eyes to water, nose to run, those types of things. So when you look at ragweed, the interleukins are the one cells that overreact, and it causes havoc within your immune system. We have actually shown in the study that it dramatically decreases eye and nose symptoms as well as severity and duration, because we're actually suppressing that interleukin cell so it doesn't increase the numbers. So it actually has a benefit to certain types of allergies. We've always heard, over the years, certain types of allergies that it helps with it. But again, you should check with your doctor.
Right.
But as I mentioned, as a safety, it doesn't overstimulate your immune system. It could actually help in certain autoimmune type situations.
Perfect. So as a recommended dose, you just kind of went through that already. But as just one product, as the most popular, you said was the 250 or the 500?
Well, the 500s are our best-selling product.
Got it.
Because it's, and again, you get a little bit better response with the 500. If you look at the price point, it's probably on a monthly price point the same as the 250. So I've been taking, the 500 milligram product for 30 plus years now. And again, I was just talking to a friend the other day, and I swear by it. I mean, I haven't come down with a cold, I don't think, in a few years. And again, I was talking to one of our naturopaths that sell our product.
Yeah.
He's out in your area as well. He's in the Tucson area, and he's been using our product for 20 plus years. And he recommends it to all of his customers and so forth. And the same type of thing. We talked about how many times we've come down with colds or come down with the flu and so forth. And again, it's a product that works, and you just don't see it.
And again, in these products, the active chief ingredient is that Wellmune that we covered
Correct.
in the first half of this interview. And again, Wellmune, unlike other yeast beta-glucans, remember, beta-glucans can be found in yeast, mushrooms, algae, cereal grains, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Wellmune, it's the only ingredient supported by over a dozen published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, it's over a dozen, and they keep on doing studies. And what's nice about this product as well, which we probably talked about, it's great for all ages. I mean, you can take it with, kids can take it, the adults can take it, the elderly can take it, and they can take it year round. Because again, most people take immune products when you got the cold and flu season. But,
Right.
If you look at it, your immune system is suppressed year round, especially with the stress that we have in the environment nowadays, or lack of nutrition or sleep or whatever. So we actually recommend you take this product year round, because you can be exposed to any pathogenic challenge anywhere.
Right. And then once you finally get symptoms, that's when it's already been brewing for a while, right?
Yep.
You don't just get infected and boom, right away symptoms. Well, sometimes, but for most common colds and flus, right, you get it, and then maybe the symptoms appear after a week or 2 weeks, right? 10 days. So that's an important point to take home there, and taking it year round. So one last thing, I want you to clarify that on wellmune.com, under their research category, it says Wellmune's an immune trainer for everyday health. I've never heard that concept before. I'm sure that goes back to kind of training that innate immunity, right? But let's finish off with that clarification. What does this mean, an immune trainer?
So immune trainer is basically, it's working with these innate immune cells, the macrophage, neutrophils, and natural killer cells. And it's basically training them. And if you look at these cells, they all have a bookmark or a recipe of how they function, how they defend themselves against a different pathogenic challenge. So we're basically training these cells to react much quicker and have more energy to kill more pathogenic challenges in a much more effective and efficient way.
Amazing, Matt. Well, I always appreciate your time. This is like our part 2. We had Matt on a few episodes back, so make sure you just in our search bar type in Matt Steiner, Steiner, Matt, and then you can see our episodes here on the podcast with Matt, covering all things immunity, immune health basics, beta-glucans. In the last episode, I even pulled up a visual to show all the different food products and their various beta-glucan composition. What would you want to leave our listeners with here today? What's a good take-home? What should we know about?
Well, as I mentioned, this is a great product. It's clinically proven, and it's a product that I think everybody should take, no matter if you're sick or not. I mean, because again, we're exposed to all kinds of different pathogenic challenge. And if you look at, one thing that can keep you healthy, it's your immune system.
Yeah.
So anything you can do to support your immune system, you're going to be better off in the end. And this is a product that's been clinically proven to really be, it's really unique. I mean, it's a unique product as far as the mechanism of how it works, and it's natural. It doesn't overstimulate your immune system. So anything you can do to strengthen your immune system, you're going to be better off.
Awesome. And so then what would a typical day look like for you, Matt, in this industry, in this field, constantly in I just picture you just constantly in the research with beta-glucans and all this kind of stuff. Like what's a typical day in the life for you, Matt?
Well, I do a lot of training and so forth and try to educate people on the benefits of beta-glucan. And like I said, if you look at the mechanism and now this new, trained immunity, it's the first product ever that's been clinically proven to train innate immune cells, which is remarkable. It's something to look forward to. And there's going to be some new research down the road, probably in another few months, for us to publish research on trained immunity. But it's a great product. So.
Thanks for your time, Matt. I always appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Another big shout out to Stan, the demo man, for setting this up for us. Thank you.
Stan for me.
This is going to help a lot of our customers and patients of ours here on the medical side at the clinic for having a fresh new product that they may have not considered before in the world of immune system support. So thank you.
Thank you.